Hello gays and non-gays alike, my name is Jesse, and today we will be reacting to some scary TikToks that will keep me up at night. Number 122. Alright, let's see what it says.
Caught at Target stores, part 1.
Oh no.
In this video, a woman films herself talking to a man in a Target store. It's unclear what they're talking about, but then the woman points the camera at him and asks if he remembers talking to her before. The man instantly starts running out the Target.
Lord. Stop that guy! Oh dear Lord! Oh God!
The woman chases him out yelling for people to stop him and call the police. She chases him all the way out to the parking lot, and he gets in his car and leaves. The woman said that she had seen the man in the Target before, and he had asked her super inappropriate questions that made her feel very uncomfortable.
That was what was going through my head, was just I had to get his face, I had to get something on him to put him out there and catch this guy.
Scariest close calls with death.
This
terrifying close call was recorded on the 18th of May 2018, and it shows two cyclists entering a dark tunnel. Everything is going fine until they come across their absolute worst nightmare. A train siren is heard from the distance approaching quickly, so the cyclists run for their life.
Yeah, I would hope they would run for their life. Holy moly!
By some miracle, the cyclists managed to escape the train with seconds.
This is spooky. I don't like this. It's spooky.
Scariest moments caught on camera. PT.11.
PT11. What the quack is that about? Oh no. Oh my God. What the quack is this?
What's wrong?
Dude, no! Oh my gosh. OMG. Oh God. Oh dear Lord. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. Wake up. I don't like this. I don't like this. Oh dear Lord. Oh dear Lord. Oh jeez. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude. What on earth is this, bro? What the heck? I don't like this. Oh my God. It was so, oh my God, this is so creepy. Help.
Terrifying things found deep in the woods. This footage shows two dirt bike riders riding on a remote path in the woods on the 15th of September 2017. As they ride their dirt bikes further through the woods, they then come across every dirt bike rider's worst nightmare. Tied up to trees, there was a deadly steel cable trap which they almost ran into at full speed. A steel cable trap is an extremely dangerous trap where someone ties a sharp wire around two trees that blocks the path of mountain bikers and dirt bikers. These traps could easily be fatal and seriously injure people, but thankfully they stopped just in time.
How did they...
This man claims his psychiatrist controlled...
But how did they know that it was there? That's what I'm wondering. How did they know it was there? How? Just... That just baffles me sometimes. Like, how do these people know that? Like, how?
And took over his life for 30 years. This is the Shrink Next Door case.
Oh God.
In 1981 in New York, Marty Markowitz was having a hard time. He was grieving the loss of his parents and having problems with his family business. Marty was a millionaire and financially well off, but was just really lost. He heard about a psychiatrist named Dr. Isaac Ike Hirschkopf, who was rumored to have a direct and unconventional approach with his clients. He was well known as a celebrity doctor and would flaunt his relationships with well-known people like Gwyneth Paltrow and him. Yuck. Marty began seeing the doctor and he really helped him at first, but then things took a strange turn. The doctor began inserting himself into Marty's life. He convinced Marty to give him control over his finances. Marty would run errands for him. The doctor alienated him from his sister, pictured here, by telling him that he couldn't trust her. It even got to the point where the doctor moved into Marty's Hamptons home and pretended it was his own. The doctor would host parties there and then force Marty to serve the guests as part of the catering staff. He essentially became the doctor's handyman and assistant while paying him. A neighbor of the Hamptons home, journalist Joe Nocera, assumed that Dr. Ike owned the home and Marty was just a groundskeeper. Joe began investigating and realized that this was one twisted ordeal. Marty said, quote, "He didn't let me have a girlfriend. I would go on a date and he'd call her a gold digger. He would say, 'Everyone is out to get you. I'm going to protect you.' And I was stupid enough to buy it." The doctor persuaded Marty to rewrite his will and leave his entire estate to him and installed himself as the president of Markowitz's company. And this continued on for 30 years.
30
It
years?
wasn't until 2010 when Marty went in for a medical procedure. Afterwards, he noticed that Dr. Ike didn't check on him or visit.
Holy
And he finally
mackerel.
began questioning the relationship. The doctor knew Marty truly didn't have anyone else in his life, and Marty realized that this entire relationship was a fraud. After realizing he was, quote, living a lie, Marty cut off ties with the doctor and later found out that Dr. Ike had done this to multiple other patients over the years. He was ultimately ordered to surrender his license. Marty's story became the center of podcasts and eventually was adapted into the Apple TV drama The Shrink Next Door with Will Ferrell and Paul Rudd. For a doctor to take advantage of someone that's coming to them for help is really disgusting. But
Yeah,
Marty
a
is now
little
free of the
effed up
doctor
too.
and is enjoying time with a new girlfriend. What are your thoughts on this case?
Russia
like
found
that.
a sea monster in
Oh, I love this
Antarctica.
guy.
In 1974, Russian scientists at the Vostok Research Output Station discovered that there was actually a subglacial lake 2 miles beneath them, but it wasn't until 30 years later when they finally breached the ice. The first team of divers that explored the lake encountered a 33-foot-long, 14-tentacle squid that released a toxin into the water
Oh dear.
to immobilize 3 members of the expedition team, eventually killing them. They then came back with backup, and the scientists were able to then cage the creature. But when they returned to the surface, the creature, whose name is now Organism 46B, was actually seized by the Russian officials, and the team was told to keep this quiet. To this day, nobody has any idea where Organism 46B is, but rumor has it the creature is being experimented on to become a weapon for the Russian military.
Today I'm going to be talking about the chilling disappearance of Evelyn Hartley. On October 23, 1953, Evelyn went to babysit the 20-month-old Avigo Rasmussen. Now, every time Evelyn had a babysitting job, her dad would have her call and check in. This particular night, her dad wanted her to call at 8:30 exactly, and when she didn't call, he got concerned. So he tried calling the house, and there was no response. So he waited a little bit longer, and when he still hadn't heard from her, he decided that he was going to go to the house. Now, when he arrived and knocked on the door, there was no answer, despite lights being on and he could hear the radio. So he tried again, this time knocking more furiously, hoping that somebody would answer the door, but still no answer. Concerned why his daughter would not be answering the door, he decided to try and find another way in. He checked all doors leading inside, and everything was locked, until he came across the basement window, which the screen was off and it was sitting open. So he climbed in through that way, only to notice that there had been a ladder set up against the window on the inside, so somebody could get in and out. Once inside the house, he decided to investigate. In the living room, furniture was moved around, Evelyn's books were all over the place, but still nobody was there. While investigating, he realized that every single door inside the house was locked, and thankfully he came across the 20-month-old safely sleeping in her crib. Extremely concerned on his daughter's whereabouts, he immediately called the police. Once they arrived, they located her shoes in 2 different rooms, her broken glasses, as well as blood. Absolutely no possessions were missing. The only thing missing was Evelyn. When they did a perimeter search, they found more blood outside, as well as a bloody handprint on a nearby garage. So they brought in some bloodhounds, which traced the blood a couple blocks away.
I don't
and
like
they theorized
this.
that she had been placed into a car
It's too
and
weird.
driven away wherever they were taking her. A couple days later, a resident called the police and told them that they had seen a car speeding away from that area. He had seen one man in the front seat, a man in the back seat, and a girl in the back seat leaning against the window. This led to a massive search of everybody looking for Evelyn. Police started checking cars in the town. They printed out 40,000 My Car Is Okay stickers. So once they checked somebody's backseat and trunk, they would put a sticker on their car. Several days later, various clothing items were found around the town, and some of them were covered in blood. One of the jackets that had been found, unfortunately, had Evelyn's blood type on it. In May of 1954, the police decided to do a mass lie detector test of high school boys to see if they could find more information on Evelyn. They planned on doing 1,750 tests, but they stopped at 300, and still had no more information on Evelyn than they did before. After his arrest, it was suspected that maybe Ed Gein had something to do with her disappearance, but he absolutely denied any
is
involvement
weird.
in it. He passed lie detector tests, and after a search of his property, he was cleared. Despite this, some people still consider him a suspect. Throughout the years, multiple people tried coming forth about her disappearance, but were all eventually cleared. After about 25 years, her parents had completely given up hope of ever finding her again. To this day, Evelyn's case still remains unsolved.
Hey, look, a pizza! You gotta let him into your house now.
No, thank
These
you.
are videos humans were never meant to see, part 1.
Oh, no.
The video that I'm about to show you
Oh,
shows
no.
what happens to being exposed to radiation for too long,
Oh god.
which would then leave behind your shadow. But that's not the scary part about the video. The man who was doing the experiment in this video died 3 days after, but the scientist said it had nothing to do with the experiment. But it actually did, and he got radiation poisoning.
Oh dear. I don't like this. This is so creepy. I don't like this. Wow then, that was weird. Okay, I think I have... what time? Yeah, I think I have time for one more video. Let's see. Let's watch Scary TikToks That Kept Me Up at Night, part
Morbid
190.
facts that will give you nightmares. When a prisoner is electrocuted in an electric chair, they can feel absolutely everything. They are fully aware that their
Oh,
body is
geez.
being fried in real time, and one prisoner that survived said he actually smelled and tasted like cold peanut butter. Human corpses decompose 4 times faster in water than underground, and 8 times faster if left in the open air. It takes around 359 humans to have enough iron to forge a sword from their blood. Just about 3,000 people go missing every single year in the US. The last execution by guillotine was in 1977 in France. That was exactly the same year that the first
I
Star
thought the
Wars movie
guillotine
came
wasn't used
out.
anymore.
So this person means the dancing Serbian lady. So let's talk about the dancing Serbian lady. A few years ago, this myth arose on the internet. There's a lady in Serbia that dances on the streets, and if you get close to her, she will threaten you. She'll usually take out a knife and threaten you and chase you down. A lot of these claims were brushed under the rug because nobody really had proof until recently. They actually have a video of the dancing Serbian lady on the news in Serbia. At the end of the video, it is a little creepy
That's
too because
weird.
she's walking towards the camera.
That's a little sus. A little weird.
If you're in Serbia and you see this lady on the street, do not get near her. It might just be your last day on Earth. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. And if you're from Serbia, let me know if you've heard about this legend before.
Is everyone dead? When you die,
Uh,
your brain is said to live
oh
on
no.
for 7 minutes and recreate your memories in a dreamlike state, flashing your entire life before you. Because time moves differently when we're awake than when we're asleep. 7 minutes can feel like 100 years. Stephen Hawking actually stated that if we find the God particle, the world could end in a day, and in 2012, we discovered it. What if the world did end in 2012, and we've been living in our consciousness? Could that be the reason why, ever since the year 2012, the world has gotten so much weirder? And maybe everyone is actually living in their consciousness,
Now
so...
that I think about
This
that,
is why
that is
these
so
old
creepy.
cathedrals freak me out.
Dude!
So in Loudon, France in the
No!
1600s, there was this cathedral. And
No,
one day,
I don't
all
like
of the
that
nuns
thought.
that worked
That's a
there were
scary
complaining
thought.
about
No,
having the
thank
same
you.
nightmare.
No,
All of
no,
them were
no,
seeing this
no.
shadowy figure that they referred
That's a
to as
no-no.
the Cloth Man. He would
Hit
appear angelic
to
at
the
first,
knob.
but then would quickly turn
Hit
demonic.
to the
This was terrifying the
knob,
nuns,
bruh.
but it started getting so much worse. See, after these nightmares started happening, the
Hit
nuns
to the
started
knob.
showing symptoms of
Hit
demonic
to the knob.
possession.
Hit to the knob.
Mass
Hit
hysteria
to the
broke out, and some of the
knob.
nuns were
knob.
able to bend over backwards so their shoulders were touching their ankles. It was also said that
Hit
others
to
were
the
caught
knob.
levitating. But these nuns thought they knew who was doing this to them. The head priest at this cathedral was a man by the name of Father Grandier.
and he was accused of
Oh
practicing
my
black
goodness
magic. He was
gracious!
eventually burned at the stake, but they were not able to exorcise the demons out of the nuns. And in fact, many of the men who tried to perform exorcisms suffered horrible fates, even claiming that Grandier's ghost was tormenting them from beyond the grave.
You better watch out for this man. In 1979, the Luna Amusement Park opened with a ride called the Ghost Train. The train was supposed to be just a simple roller coaster. However, on June 9th, it would catch on fire and the lives of 7 people would be lost. Investigators couldn't find the cause of the fire, but soon the mother of a victim came forth with this picture with a person in a costume that resembles Moloch, and the primary form of worship to Moloch would be sacrifice. This person is now the primary suspect and most likely started the fire, and it was said that this person was seen after the fire walking amongst the crowd, but subsequently was never seen again because this man was never caught. Next time you go to an amusement park,
What are some of the craziest things people have confessed to at the end of their lives? In this series, I'm sharing some of the craziest ones I found, and I cover all sorts of spooky and true crime stuff, so follow along. So in 2004,
true
Geraldine
crime.
Kelly was
Heck to the
dying of
yes.
cancer. Her daughter was there by her side, but this was particularly hard on her daughter, because her father, Geraldine's husband, had passed away in a motor vehicle accident years prior. Or at least, that's what Geraldine had told everyone. A few days before Geraldine passed away, she tells her daughter that she lied about how her husband died. He didn't die in an accident. Geraldine had killed him. And not only that, but she was keeping his body in a freezer in a storage unit. So her daughter calls the police right away, and sure enough, he's in an unplugged freezer that was taped shut. Geraldine claimed that she had been a victim of abuse, but she passed away a few days later, along with any information she had on this case.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Staying at has a lot of
I hate
explaining to do.
it so much. I hate it, I hate it, I hate
I've been
it.
hearing these noises for quite a while now, and I
I don't
realized
like this.
that my room is the last one at the end. On the other side is some sort of maintenance closet, and it made me question something. I took a look outside the door just to see what I found. I first took a look outside the door through the peephole to see if I saw anything, because the noises were like super loud. I first took a look outside the door through the peephole to see if I saw anything, because the noises were like super loud. But I saw nothing, and I thought, well, maybe I'm just overreacting. And then I looked to the side and I saw this.
Weird.
There's literally a hole there. I don't want to seem paranoid, but something's not right. There was literally a light coming from that little hole, as if there was something on the other side. I am freaking out.
Do you guys know why refrigerators are magnetic?
No.
Before the year 1956, refrigerators had latchets that would only open from the outside. And they were sealed with rubber, so they were also soundproof. When kids would play hide and seek, they would end up hiding inside of these refrigerators. And because they only opened from the outside, they would end up suffocating. And no, they cannot yell for their parents because the rubber makes them soundproof. The Refrigerator Safety Act started in 1956 to prevent that from happening, and all refrigerator companies decided to make them magnetic so that they would stay sealed, but they would also open from the inside. There were a couple of old ones still laying around, and the most recent case of this happening was back in 2013, when 2 South African kids were stuck inside of a refrigerator and ended up suffocating to death.
Bruh. No. Just no. No thank you, that's too spooky for me. I don't like this. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I don't like this. This is so spooky. Ooh, why did I bust this in the dark like a doofus? Brother.
What's the creepiest thing that ever happened to you? I was 10ish having a sleepover at my house with a friend. We played games, watched a movie, ate junk food, stayed up late, the works. Eventually we get tired and go to sleep in my room. We both fall asleep, but a few hours later she wakes me up because she needs to go to the bathroom. I'm super confused because she knew where the bathroom was. We'd been friends since kindergarten and it was literally a door over from my room. She insisted, so I got up and took her to the bathroom. She said she wasn't feeling great. She was never the one to get uncomfortable, so I asked her what was wrong, but she said she just felt like she couldn't sleep in my room that night. I told her staying up later wouldn't help her feel any better and we agreed to go to bed. Bathroom door open, I turn out the lights, pitch black. We start walking back to my room and she follows behind holding my hand and suddenly I start feeling uneasy. When I say it was a door over, I mean maybe a whole 10 paces or so.
Oh,
Again,
boy.
not that far, but in the span of a couple seconds, I went from feeling fine to feeling sharp prickles on the back of my neck and a bad feeling in my gut. We get to my room door and in the darkness, I see an outline of a tall figure shifting and a gentle squeaking sound. I felt cold and hollow and I knew it was looking at me. Because when I looked in its direction, the
What do you
squeaking
mean,
stopped
it?
for a second. My friend was
What do
clenching
you
my
mean,
hand and
it?
not
What was
breathing,
looking
and I
at
told
you?
myself what all adults tell
Bro,
themselves because I
what
wanted
was-
to be brave for my friend. It's
Dude,
nothing. I
no,
reached out my hand
I
and
need
flipped the
answers.
light switch to turn on the overhead light. And there stood a 6-foot-tall man, frozen, staring at me with his hands in the air, one holding the glass orb diffuser that goes over the light bulb, the other on the light bulb. And he turned his hand a little and unscrewed the light bulb. It went pitch black. I flinched and waited, but we heard nothing. Nothing moved or squeaked or rustled. I flipped the light switch off, then on again.
Oh, I don't
My room
trust
lit up
that.
and everything was normal. No
I don't
person,
trust that
no
one bit.
overhead light taken apart, nothing. We searched my room for him, which didn't take long to no avail. I was on the second floor, the shades were still drawn, the windows locked, screen in the window. We checked downstairs in the locks, but they had been locked after dinner by my parents and we hadn't touched them. I asked if she saw him, despite knowing we were both looking for him. She said yes, and it was nice to know it wasn't just me that saw it, but I never had an explanation for that.
This is why you should never use Snapchat. This story took place in 2015 when a young boy and girl were Snapchatting each other late at night. The boy and girl were just sending Snapchats back to each other, making goofy faces and just having a normal conversation. After a while of them sending Snapchats back and forth to each other, the boy realized there was a silhouette in the young girl's window. The young boy then asked the girl, "Hey, I didn't know you had a brother. Does he go to our school?" She replied to the boy saying, "No, I'm actually a single child. Why do you ask?" The boy still saw the outline of the man and told the girl, "Look behind you now. I think somebody's watching you." Right when the young girl turned around, she saw the man staring at her. The young girl screamed as loud as she could and ran straight to her parents' room. When the parents went into the young girl's room, the window was completely shattered and the only thing left was a note on her bed. The note said, "See, this is what happens when you talk to other boys." The man who did this tragedy was never to be found again.
People are convinced that this guy encountered a skinwalker. Take a
Dude!
listen.
Oh my god. Holy crap. Why is he coming for the bathroom?
What the? Bro. There's nobody in here.
So skinwalkers can mimic the sounds of humans. Was this a trap to lure him in? They also have been known to mimic the sound of their last victim. So maybe this is exactly what this woman was saying when the skinwalker got to her. Like and follow for more creepy stuff.
Alright, well, that's all the time I have for this video. If you guys liked what you saw, subscribe to this guy right here, this person, Lido Dry, however you say their username. And obviously subscribe to me as well if you liked the video. And leave a like down below and a comment. And I will see you in the next one. Have fun being gay. Bye.